What's up, Hardies and Hardos? Here we are back at it again this week with episode 30. I don't want to call it the Steph Curry number. Can we think of someone better that wears number 30?
Why?
Might have to be the Steph Curry episode because, I mean, he's a GOAT, but one of the GOATs. But
why not the Steph Curry episode? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I just don't want to give him his credit. I don't know.
So you're a hater.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's
just
exactly.
wanted to level the playing field here. Make sure we were opening episode number 30, which is to be titled Final Trivia Showdown. Just making sure we're opening that with a good stuff.
Well, we got a lot of football to talk about today. Before we do that, I want to shout out the man, Albert Pujols, 700 home runs. It's basically the only breaking headline from this past 5 or so days. That's incredible. Fourth man to ever do it. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I know he was my favorite non-twin growing up, so I, kind of got a little emotional seeing him do that. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, no, Albert Pujols, I mean, he's been in our lives basically for our entire lives, just hitting home runs. And when you think of Albert Pujols, you think of home runs. So, I mean, I don't know what else you can say about that dude. He's been just smashing home runs forever. And we honestly didn't think he was going to get it. Let's be honest. I would think like a month ago, if you said he had a month to do it, I don't think he was going to do it. And he did it. He got it done. So shout out to Albert.
Yeah, I saw someone posted, for getting the payout at this time, but they had ridiculous. They got the Albert Pujols over 699 and a half home runs, and they threw $100 on it, and they got it at an amazing time, and they ended up winning like something stupid, like $100,000 or something, because they did it like in the middle of the season. So crazy to think about. Should we do it, boys? Just had to shout out my guy for a second.
Okay, I have one more thing in breaking headlines, and I have to make sure we get deep. Can we get a little past sports here? Are we okay with that for our guests?
Wnba? Are we talking Wnba?
Yeah,
okay.
We are.
Let's do it.
Okay. My biggest question is there's got to be something worse that happened that is not known, because what happened that you can he's suspended for a year, but we can't just fire him? What is in that little small category of I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than what's been told. What do you think?
Is that the set punishment a year suspension? Because I also don't. If it's apparently a consensual relationship, I feel like that's a really hefty punishment. I feel like maybe I'm wrong by saying that, but I feel like that was too hefty of a punishment for a consensual relationship.
It was against the team guidelines, and that was a set in writing punishment for that violation. So it's probably something that hasn't been reviewed recently. That's what it makes me think of, because workplace relationships happen all the time. I am the byproduct of a workplace relationship.
So what I'm asking is though, is it that, or is it something more than that?
There has to be something more, because
otherwise you just change the rule, right? If there wasn't something more, you just fix the guideline down to something else, right? Yeah. It's not like you can't do that whenever you want.
Culturally that's an accepted thing now, but in the rule book the punishment is still we're talking about a guy in the prime of his coaching career, and he has to just sit out an entire year. That definitely punishes his career.
There's a chance he doesn't coach ever again from this.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Spinny, are you getting at that maybe he did it with someone in upper management? Are you speculating somewhere like that? Are you?
I don't like speculating that. I'm speculating that there was worse things that he did than cheating and having a consensual cheating relationship.
And I think that's
there's something worse that happened than that.
I think you're probably onto something, but I don't know. Do you think we ever figure it out? I don't think that we ever.
Maybe not.
Once he gets fired, because they all that stuff started to come out about Coach O after he let go. and that was poor
Oh, yeah,
performance.
that's true.
And then they're saying, oh, he was bringing women around there. He was being, sexual in the workplace, like with women. It's like, well, that type of stuff will trickle out once he gets fired. But as long as he's an employee, none of that stuff can ever come out.
And this investigation was done by a private law firm. So, and this has been happening since July, essentially. And so, like, I feel like that gets leaked from their end once he's fired as well. If not, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it'll come out from them at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can't truly give a full opinion until more comes out because
but I'm
we've
saying
all speculated.
I'm
something
saying they're
more
trying
has
to they're
happen.
trying to play it like there's nothing more and this is it. And I just don't
Right.
believe that. I'm saying my conspiracy theory light is on about this.
No, I agree. I mean, Richard Jefferson.
Yeah,
drawing a
that
blank on his
too. That
name.
Richard Jefferson tweet.
And the one I sent you, what is his name? I'm drawing a blank on it. The guy that Kobe threw the ball in his face. And he didn't
Matt
even
Barnes, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Barnes posted that video too. Just a bunch of cryptic stuff that these guys that are like still involved with the NBA from an analyst standpoint, they're saying a lot of cryptic stuff. So I don't know.
Literally, like Richard Jefferson is like subtweeting hardcore. It's like what? Okay,
yeah.
There's too much smoke for there not to be a fire going on in this situation.
Have they named an interim coach?
Yeah.
Did they?
John Mazzulla? Oh man,
was he just on staff or what?
Yeah, he was the assistant.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess basketball-wise, what do you guys think this means for the Celtics? Because I feel like Ime was a huge part of the success.
It's Joe Mazzulla. Joe
Mazzulla?
Yep.
Never heard of Joe.
Celtics got hit even harder in this situation, though, because they had Will Hardy on their team, who took the Jazz coaching job after this year, and they could have had him, and he's like going to be a really good coach. I feel like so they kind of got shafted on that part of it as well.
It's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
It sucks to be a Boston sports fan, Spinny.
It's a nasty TV talk shirt. All right, boys, let's jump to our college football recap. A lot of good games this past week. First, as you'll see on your screen right now, are topics that we're about to discuss. First one we're going to talk about is James Madison, actually. They're 3-0. For those that don't know, they were in the FCS for forever. And this year they jumped to the FBS. They're in the Sun Belt Conference now. It's just interesting to see a team to jump up to the FBS and start this well, right? So I feel like everyone's now asking the question, what does this mean for NDSU? Like, why haven't they made the jump yet, considering all the championships they've won in these past recent years? What are your guys' thoughts on James Madison having success early so far?
Yeah, I'll start. I think it's great for football. I think we're trying to fill that mid-level gap. I think, and already early enough this year, we've seen a lot of upsets. It's great for the game. And I don't think anyone was expecting this. I don't think anyone was expecting JMU to start 3-0. They beat Middle Tennessee 44-7, who Middle Tennessee just beat Miami last week. So that's an impressive one. App State was riding high. They just took them down. It's unfortunate they can't play for a conference championship this year because that roster is stacked and they're built up right now. So I thought NDSU would break through this barrier first, though, because they've been the team forever. So I think it only suits them better that JMU's been able to do it, because I think that should just improve confidence in NDSU's ability to make that leap in the near future.
Is that what you think it is, though? Like, just the lack of confidence, or is it a money thing? Like, or do they just want to keep dominating the FCS?
I don't know how you can watch another team that played at the same level do it, and then you feel comfortable just sitting back. I really think that, and especially with the Big 12 kind of breaking apart a little bit, I will note NDSU is in the Big 12 for wrestling. So that is something to keep tabs on, especially as kind of the Big Ten and the SEC keep moving up. I don't know if they can jump directly to the Big 12, but like the other sub conferences, like the Mountain West, Conference USA, stuff like that. But there's money to be made there, and Fargo's not a huge market, but there's money to be made there, I think.
And you see, at that level too, NDSU fans. I mean, you see them traveling like to Texas for their national
They're
championship game every year. I mean, there's a fan base there. There's fan bases all over the FCS that could make the jump.
Well, we'll jump to the next topic now. Washington, 4-0. The main thing I want to talk about here is, do you guys think this team's a real threat to win the Pac-12? Should we now consider them as a real threat? Because, I mean, honestly, to start the season, we were only talking Oregon and Utah, right? And maybe USC. Those are the only three teams we even talked about. And now Washington, out of nowhere, here they are.
I will say they do have a fairly favorable schedule this year. They could make some noise, but I still like the Oregons and USCs and the Utahs over Washington right now. But they do have a fighter's chance with their schedule this year. And I think their lone ranked game left on the schedule is against Oregon. So they could make some noise, but I still like those other teams, I think, a little bit more than them.
As of right now, Washington is 5th in the country for total yards per game, and they also average 44 points a game. So really high-powered offense. That's what's keeping them afloat in 4-0 so far.
Yeah, that schedule.
Most points scored this season for Washington is 39.
It's not bad,
Crazy
though. They're consistent. And I think they can go on a warpath, you know. You dodge USC and Utah. That's big. If you could wait till the conference championship game to play USC out of the South, yeah, they have a chance. Absolutely. Especially if Penix is going to be considered a Heisman contender. You can't have one without the other, I think. So.
Yes, I agree. And the way he's been playing, he's looking like a Heisman contender. I don't see why not. He's absolutely killing it so far.
Yeah. I think it's good that he needed a change of scenery after he had that one really good year at Indiana, then he got hurt.
Yeah.
I think that change of scenery is obviously treating him well so far. We'll see if he can stay on the same trajectory, and then we'll circle that date when they play Oregon.
Yeah, I think it's like November 12th, I want to say off the top of my head. I didn't write it down, but I did see that earlier.
Exactly right.
Looking up their schedule. Yeah, so up until then though, their schedule's still looking pretty nice. So they might be undefeated heading into that matchup. So that'll be the matchup to watch, and for us to truly know if Washington's going to be a real Pac-12 title contender here. Next thing we're going to talk about is Oklahoma. They got dubbed. They got upset this week. That's crazy. Do any of you guys have thoughts about the upset loss for them? Because I know you, Mike, and Spinny, both you guys are pretty high on Oklahoma coming in to the season.
I did not want to see that. Spinny, you can start out.
I did not want to see that. I can't even describe it more than that. I did not want to see that. I literally, I will never do this again. I messed up. I let my hatred overtake my takes, and I said that Oklahoma was better than Alabama last week, and that
you did
is a really super extra awesomely not freezing cold at all take from last week. So yeah, that one really hurt me a lot, and I learned my lesson. I won't do that again. We learned our lesson, and we're here for it.
Oh my! No, I just got one thing to say for Kansas State. You know, congrats on the big dub. Adrian Martinez definitely won the breakup by leaving Nebraska. I can say that confidently now.
Facts.
But, man, I thought Dylan Gabriel was better, man. I mean, like, I don't know. The Oklahoma defense, he just gave up way too many points. It's Brent Venables' defense. Like, that's just so uncharacteristic. So,
do you guys – so I'll start with you two, Spinny and Mike, because I know your guys' pick was Oklahoma. Do you still think they're the favorite to win the Big 12? Or are you switching it up?
No, I still probably think they are. I think they've decently proven they can do it. I think it will be between them and Texas, obviously, but I think one of those two has got it.
Texas. Texas
Not
2-2.
Yeah, but you never know.
One of them was out of conference.
Texas, Oklahoma still has to happen still, too.
Yeah, that's true. One of those losses was non-conference. Texas, Oklahoma does have to happen. You're right. I don't know. I got my eyes
on this weekend.
You guys are overlooking Oklahoma State and Baylor. If they get through Baylor this weekend,
I was just going to say, whoever wins that game, I think they definitely have the driver's seat on the Big 12.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Connor there. That I think the winner of this Saturday's game will be the favorite as of right now.
And I don't know if I picked that. That's why it's kind of a wait and see. Like right now, I'm still okay with Oklahoma. But if the winner of that game this weekend comes out looking dominant, oh yeah, they're definitely up in the front seat.
Yeah, because as we speak now, Oklahoma State is what? They're 9th, 8th,
9th, I think.
And Baylor, 9th.
Baylor's like 16th.
16th.
So it's going to be a great matchup. Definitely.
And Baylor's only loss was BYU earlier, I believe.
Now Baylor, they still, even if they get through OK State, they do have Oklahoma on November 5th, and they have K-State on the following week, November 12th. So they still have some tough games left here. But
everyone plays everyone in the Big 12, correct?
Yeah, I like that. I like that they do it that way.
What about the Big 12? Just all of a sudden, just people say it's trash, and then all of a sudden we're like, actually, we're not trash.
It's actually, yeah.
You forgot about us. Tough for you.
Seriously, though. Like, I kind of shit on them a little bit in the preseason preview.
They deserved a little shitting on, but they performed here for the most part.
Like, where the hell does Kansas State come from? I did not see that. And obviously this team has played absolutely nobody, but Kansas is even 4-0 right now. So they're not ranked because they played nobody, but it's crazy. A lot of teams are playing well.
Have we seen anything from anybody besides the Big Three to put in that category yet? The Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. I still think it's those three, and I don't think anyone's really even close at this point.
From the Big 12, or you're just talking in general, nationwide?
In the country.
In the country.
Yeah. I agree. I think those are kind of on their own.
If Clemson beats NC State, I think then.
And I think that's what we're kind of moving on to here. Clemson, they definitely.
Yeah, let's jump to that now.
They could get into that class with a confident win there, but I don't even know. NC State.
How good is Wake Forest?
Yeah, how good is Wake Forest? So they won 51-45 in overtime.
As a Vikings fan, I will say if we move on from Kirk Cousins at any point, I want Sam Hartman on our football team. He looked amazing last week. 5 touchdown passes. Come on now.
6.
He's great. 6. That's right. He had the one.
6.
337 yards, 6 tutties, no picks. Incredible.
And he just came off a blood clot in I believe it was in his throwing shoulder, like preseason, and he just came back and just instantly kept balling. So good bounce back game from DJ. I think a lot of Clemson fans have been waiting for that.
Literally.
He was way better than I anticipated him being in that game. He had 371 with 5 tutties. He was incredible.
9-yard average per completion too, so pretty more than his usual. Throw the ball and 3 yards into the ground, half the throws. Yeah, no, I think that's good. He kind of batted. I mean, he keeps Cade Klubnik away for another week, but if he doesn't perform against NC State this week again, it's right back. So we'll see if he can parlay it into more success.
We all think that Wake Forest is better than NC State. I mean, NC State's better than Wake Forest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My preseason pick to win the ACC. NC State.
Because Spinny was giving me a little hard time
yesterday
when I was telling him that Clemson's about to lose to NC State. And Spinny was like, no, they'll easily take care of them.
How much better than Wake Forest is NC State?
I hate that. Oh, I think NC State's head and shoulders above Wake Forest because Wake Forest's defense is not good.
Yeah.
Sure.
This week, NC State will have similar offense to Wake, but a way better defense. But I hate that this game is a night game in Death Valley. It just
Yeah.
begs the question, what is NC State really made of? We're going to find out.
Literally.
Dating back to the beginning of this conversation when you guys were saying Clemson might jump to that tier if they get the win. I mean, flip side of it, NC State might too, because then if they win the game, they're all of a sudden first in the ACC undefeated team. So that's another team. I think the winner of this game might end up winning the ACC, honestly.
Yeah, that fourth spot's going to be interesting to see how it plays out this year. No one's really going to take a stranglehold on it early, it seems like.
I feel like you got to – I mean, USC's obviously in that conversation too, right?
I would say so.
They're another defensive question, though. Can their defense hold anybody under 40 points is obviously a question.
Yeah, when you go up against those top 3 teams, they're all going to have a good defense. And if you're – they're going to give up 30 points to any one of those 3 teams. So
yeah.
Well, jump into the SEC now. Amazing game, Tennessee versus Florida. Tennessee is now 4-0. I honestly did not picture them being this good coming into the season. They're up to 8th in the country. Kentucky is 7th, sitting right in front of them. That side of the SEC is stacked. So they got Georgia, Kentucky, and Tennessee all in the top 10. Ridiculous. What do you guys think about Tennessee? I've noticed today that Tennessee, where are my notes here? They are number 1 in the country in total offense. They're averaging 559 yards per game, and they're 2nd in the entire country in passing yards. Just incredible offensive production so far.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expected. We just didn't know what we were going to see out of the defense for the Vols, and it's still coming along. They're not that top-tier SEC defense, but they can score against anybody, and they have 2 really exciting matchups coming up in October.
Yes, they do.
Or sorry. They play Georgia in the first week of November, but home against Tennessee, home against Alabama, and then they play Georgia in November. If that offense translates through those 2 games, I think we can say they have an outside shot. If they get through there with 1 loss,
they do have Kentucky.
Yeah,
they do have Kentucky in the 29th.
Yeah, I was going to say they're 4 of their next 5 games: LSU, Bama, Kentucky, Georgia.
LSU at 11 a.m. though.
LSU is this week.
That's way better than wait until
Alabama, Kentucky, and Georgia. That's 4 of their next 5 games.
I'll say it right now. Kentucky is going to fall out of the top 25 after we see how they play against Tennessee and Georgia. I don't think that they will hold up against that level of competition.
That was my next point. Was what do you guys think about Tennessee versus Kentucky? I feel like they're pretty similar, but I agree. I think Tennessee is going to take care of business there, and that might seem like a bold take as of now, but once Kentucky has 2 losses, they'll definitely probably jump out of the top 25.
But Tennessee has to beat either Bama or Georgia. We've never seen a 2-loss team in the playoffs, so I find that to be a difficult achievement for Tennessee.
Right. And Kentucky is on the road at Ole Miss this week.
Kentucky.
They're Ole Miss. They're at Ole Miss this week, and they're 6.5-point underdogs as the 7th-rated team in the country. So
really.
And I don't think Ole Miss is worth the 14th ranking either. But hey, we could go all day about these SEC teams.
I agree.
Those AP writers love to rank those boys up. We'll talk more about that later.
Big Ten, Mike.
I was gonna say now let's jump to a team, in my opinion, who didn't get ranked where they should. Number 21 ranked Minnesota Gophers. Now 4-0 after absolutely taking a shit on the Michigan State Spartans on the road, 34-7. This one blew my mind. Spinny and I, we were wrong by thinking we couldn't go on the road and win a game against a good team. And wow, that was a totally brutal take by Spinny and I.
Yeah, this one, I don't think it's about Michigan State. This was just about how well the Gophers just said, we're going to play our game and we're just going to take it to you. We don't care. If you give us our best game, as Rex Ryan says, we're going to give you ours. and they beat the living piss out of them for 4 quarters. Should have been a shutout. They mailed it in on the last play and gave up a touchdown. Whatever. Now the question is for the Gophers. They were the hunters. Now they're kind of the hunted the rest of the year. The schedule opens up for them to go on a warpath. If they just don't trip and you stay focused every week. We know how college, the upsets have been crazy already this year. Don't be that next victim. So it's going to take a tremendous amount of focus, but this team's seen it all. I mean, we have a bunch of 6th-year seniors that have been through it all before, so that's good and comforting for you Gopher fans out there. But very exciting. Now we'll see if they can take it back home this week against Purdue.
Yeah, I love those points. Yeah, just to describe how bad of a beatdown this was. Total yards, 508 to 240 for Michigan State. Rushing yards, we had 240 and they had 38. 200 more yards. Time of possession, 43 to 17. So it was our game the whole time. It wasn't even close. When do we got Wisconsin and Iowa? I want to know those games. The last
2 weeks. So November 19th and November 26th. So at home against Iowa, and then the Saturday after Thanksgiving on the road in Madison.
Do you boys think the Gophers will be undefeated heading into those games?
There's a big game of Penn State.
Right.
I can't mark that one a dub. Not yet.
That could decide your very question.
Spinny, if you were trying to say something, you're muted.
I hate my life.
Oh, that's what you're going to say?
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Exactly.
Well, that was it, honestly. That was our last little talk there for college football. It's a wild weekend, and we got another wild weekend coming up this week. We actually are splitting up the episodes this week, so be on the lookout for our preview coming out later this week. What we want to release that Friday, probably Spinny or something like that. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. Boys, you ready? This is why we had to have both y'all on at the same time. Our best 2 trivia guests. Best 2. Best 2. We got Forbes is 2-0, and Mike is 2-1.
Let's go.
Depressing for Spinny and I losing to our guests. We hate doing
it. All right. We got some fun questions today.
Golly.
Okay, y'all. Who wants to start it off? Who wants to ask first? Or should I? I'll just do it. So
yeah, you do it, boss. You ask first.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
700 home runs for Albert Pujols, as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Again, this is an easy question, so I'm going to be very mad if you guys don't know this. Who are the other 3 700 home run? Like, who are the other 3 players in the 700 home run club? Make sure you guys are all ready before we say it. You guys all ready now?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Bonds, Aaron,
shout them out.
Bonds, Aaron, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds. There you go. I get 3 points. I get 4 points. I get 4 points for saying first names. I didn't hear anybody else. Connor said Babe Ruth.
Barry Bonds. Henry Aaron.
You also, not only do you say first names, you also said it in order, too. So, I don't know if the other guys did, but you went Ruth.
You said it in
Aaron.
Reverse order.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Who has the most?
They also said it before me, but yeah, whatever.
We got it. We all knew it. We're smart. We know the baseball things. I'll go next. Who, after 3 weeks in the NFL, currently leads in tackles?
I got my answer.
This is supposed to be an easy question.
This is easy, yep.
Oh, my goodness.
So Connor's going last. That is how we should do it. Maybe we should change trivia. Maybe I just came up with a quick trivia change. Whoever says they're ready first gets to answer last.
Yeah, well, you could think.
Isn't that how we've basically done it? Because we want the most confident person to go last.
Yeah, we've just never put it to words.
Wow. I
There's
feel like this is
some-
not an easy question, but
7,
No.
6.
I think it's easy.
5, 4, 3,
I have no idea.
2, 1.
Eric Kendrick's final answer.
I don't want
That's
to say
not
the
right.
same thing,
No way
but
that's right.
I don't want to say the same thing, but I was gonna say Eric Kendricks.
Micah Parsons.
Roquan Smith.
Ah.
It is Roquan. I was going to throw his name out there, but didn't think it was him either.
I was trying to think linebackers and I froze.
Why is that apparently an easy question?
Yeah, what?
Linebacker in our division. What? Come on, get out of here.
I don't keep track of total tackles. That's like I
Total
don't care
tackles,
about
that's a-
defensive stats. What?
Sorry.
My easy question. Which Lakers big man has the most fouls in NBA history?
Foul.
Lakers big man.
Big man. What is big man? What
Come on.
definition is that?
A big man. He's a big boy.
If it's the person that I'm not gonna say because he's not a big man, I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna demand that I get the point.
There's two that you could say big man when you think Bowen. There's one person. I'll go first. I'm the least.
No.
confident.
I mean, Spinny. I mean, like, he's like a center or power forward when I say big man. I don't mean
Yeah,
like.
okay, that's what I thought. I'm
Yeah.
just making sure. I'm just making sure.
If it's an easy question, especially based on time played, my guess is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Final answer.
I said Shaquille O'Neal.
Spinny.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Damn, you guys all picked different. It is Kareem.
Yeah.
Most fouls.
I should have went Kareem. That was
He played the
obvious
longest
given
time.
prime time, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. This one's a layup, and I'm already behind. This isn't good. But who is the only University of Minnesota football player to win the Heisman Trophy? Connor goes last.
Oh man, I feel like a
Got it.
dumbass. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. Did not expect this reaction.
Oh, Buzz!
This is so embarrassing. I am so embarrassed right now.
Oh no.
This is bad. This is really bad. I have no idea if he won the Heisman, but I'm
You're getting it right.
99% positive he played for the Gophers, and I'm going to go Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy?
Well,
You know,
that's
Connor?
wrong based on your guys' answers.
He did play for the Gophers. That part is correct.
Spinny. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah.
I'll take mine out.
3, 2, 1. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith.
That's correct, I assume, Mike.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That's so embarrassing. I'm embarrassed.
I mean, it was like in the 40s, but
1941.
Right, but who cares? It's the only one. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
Bob
sorry,
would
I'm a
be
little distracted.
disappointed in
I'm
you.
tweeting right now.
Tweeting
my
in
turn,
the
right?
episode, what a rat.
Tweeting our release, man. Tweeting the Fantasy Focus release. Come on. All right, my medium question. So far this season in the NFL, which non-QB has the most fantasy points in PPR, full PPR? Non-QB, because obviously Lamar Jackson has the most points.
I have a guess.
Yep, I have a guess too.
Boss, can you give me a hint?
No hints.
Why?
Because it's fantasy football and we're only 3 weeks in. It's not like you have to think about like 12 weeks worth of games or anything.
Yeah, but do I have this player on one of my teams?
I'm
You
not
can't tell
telling
me
you.
that.
Not telling you.
Sick.
And if you had someone like this on your team, you should probably know that they have a lot of fantasy points.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know who it is either. Mike, do you know? I have a guess.
I think I know it.
I think
Okay.
I know too.
I feel like you guys are all pretty equal level confidence here, so someone just fire off answers.
Tyreek Hill.
Spinning.
I'm gonna say Jalen Waddle.
Tyreek Hill. That's my guess.
If it's Barkley, I swear
Waddle
to God.
has more points than Hill. I know that for a fact.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Who is it? It's Fetty.
Tyreek had
The
40
answer is someone none of you guys said. It is the boy who had a monster game.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Nope.
No.
Tennessee Titans. This man had 100+ yards and 3 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs
Oh,
has the
yeah.
most fantasy points in PPR as of right now.
Oh my. That was a bad miss.
Mute that F word.
Waddle has like at least, let me look. He has 10 more points than Hill in standard. So at least how much in PPR?
Damn.
I have both
All
of them on in my team in one league. All right, medium question.
Yes, sir.
Who currently leads the Premier League in goals scored? And what team does he play on? 1 point for each.
God, I watch
Who
so much
currently
with Cousin Nate.
Leads the Premier League.
Cousin Nate's gonna be so disappointed in me.
I know. I can't wait for Cousin Nate to watch this and he probably just own this right now.
I just say a team and a player.
Yeah, 1 for each. Because I figure team is at least guessable-ish.
Yeah.
All right. I got to guess. I'm the least confident, so I'm going to go with De Bruyne for Manchester United.
I'm gonna say Harry Kane, Tottenham.
No soccer players. I should have been the one that goes first. All right. Well, I can at least throw a team out. Who scores a lot of goals? Premier League. That's got to be the Man U's the man. I'm gonna go Man City. I have freaking no idea because I don't know any soccer players at all. So I am only guessing one thing.
The only person to get a single point in this question is Fetty.
God.
Because this
City?
man plays for Man City.
Harry
his
Kane's
name?
got to be up there.
And his name is Erling Haaland.
Where's Harry Kane? He's got to be up there.
He's in the top 5 for sure. I can't remember exactly where he is.
All right. My medium
Erling
question.
Haaland. Bus gets 1 point for that.
This is my medium question, which was an easy question to begin with. So take that into account. Which NFL team has never played in or hosted a Super Bowl?
I gotta guess.
2 points. Take it or leave it.
I have a guess as well.
It's one of 2 teams, but I think
It's one of 2.
I think the one hosted a Super Bowl.
It's one of one team.
I honestly, I might be wrong. I have a guess. Mike, you ready? Five, 4, 3, 2. My guess is the Houston Texans.
Spinny?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike Brown? It's a good one, Fetty.
Played in or hosted? That's
Yep.
the only one I can think of that hasn't hosted would be that hasn't already been said because I know Jacksonville's wrong.
I think there's like 10 that
Jacksonville's
hasn't
wrong.
hosted.
He didn't say anything yet. So
What?
I know.
I know. No, but I know Jacksonville's wrong because the Patriots won a Super Bowl there. Tennessee was gonna be my guess, but they played in one. I know they never hosted it.
Gears are turning.
So it's like
Houston's hosted too, I feel like.
But Detroit hosted, so like that's where I was like, this is so frustrating. It's the Colts have hosted and they've won.
Throw out a guess.
It's got to be in North, like
That's I
played in. That's why Buffalo came in my head, but they played in a bunch.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Detroit Lions I know is wrong, so but that's my guess. Yeah, that's it. That's
I
all
had to
got
be
for-
right. Right, Forbes?
None of you guys are right. It's
It's a team that's not currently in existence, or what?
no.
Oh.
They play on Sundays. The Cleveland Browns.
Ah,
Oh my
shit.
god!
Oh my.
we're all
Oh.
dumb.
God.
We're all dumb.
I went through the entire AFC in my head and
So
skipped
did
over them for some
I.
reason.
Oh.
I was like, it's for sure an AFC team because, like, I swear every
Yes.
NFC team's been there. Besides,
Fellas.
that's
kinda-
bad. That's a great
bad.
question.
One
That
of
was a
us
great
were
question.
able to get
That was one of the best questions in the history of trivia, no lie.
Wow.
Mike, last medium.
Who was the quarterback for the Super Bowl 35 champions?
Super Bowl 35. I'm gonna have to go deep into my brain for this one.
You're not going to give us a year, are you?
I'm debating if I should or not. Because if I say
I
the
think
year,
I have a year guess.
if I gave you the year, it's synonymous with one portion of the team that you would definitely
Yeah, no, you're
get
good.
it from. So yeah, I'm not.
Synonymous with one part of the team.
If I were to say the year, but I guess that's enough of a hint.
I got mine.
So my first step here is try to think about what frickin' Super Bowl we're on right now.
We
That would
just
help me out
had
a little bit.
56. We just had 56, right? Or 57.
6.
Yeah, 56.
Oh, you guys are helping me out. So that
I'll help you out.
20 years ago. I have a guess. 100%.
Who was the
Perfect.
quarterback? That's the question. Okay.
Oh, I'm dumb. I missed that part of the question, I guess.
You were just gonna say the team?
Yeah, I was going to shout out to you.
All right. Whoever's ready.
Oh,
Trent
my
Dilfer?
God.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer for the Baltimore Ravens, right?
That is correct. All three of you. Son of a gun.
Let's go. I was not going to guess Dilfer, but then when you said the you gave me that hint later and that actually helped me. And then I
2000.
I felt
Everyone
guilty.
knew 2000 Ravens. Yep.
I felt guilty and I had to help Bus.
What are the scores going into the hard round, Bussy?
The score is going into the hard round. 4-4-4-1. Mike is in last.
Oh.
He can come back though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything's alive. These are 3-point questions.
I mean, it was
Mine's
in
a
the
4-point
baseball.
question.
The baseball episode, Brendan went from last to second. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the one you won, Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. My hard question. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I didn't even know this was a thing. Who was the first running back, which is probably the only running back, to finish the season with negative rushing yards on at least 10 carries?
A running back?
It's not going to be like some random like fourth string running back.
Yeah.
This is
what?
Our lifetime or not?
This is in our lifetime. This is fairly recently. This is a dude that was good. That's my hint. He was good. This happened towards the end of his career, when he wasn't good. Because obviously, like I said, the stat line was only 10 plus carries. But he finished with negative yardage. First running back finished negative yardage for the entire season.
I mean, I got one, but
I got one. I don't know if I got it.
I'm gonna just go and say Justin Forsett.
I'm gonna go Eddie Lacy.
Okay.
I'm going Adrian Peterson.
Okay. You guys are all incorrect. The answer is 2016 Reggie Bush.
Oh.
Reggie Bush had 12 carries for negative 3 yards in 2016.
Is that when he?
I think he was on the Bills or something like that. It was his last team. He retired after that season.
That's tough. All right. Is it me? Is it my hard question?
Yep.
All right. Who has scored the most points ever in a WNBA game?
I gotta guess.
Bonus 1 point. You can get up to 4 points in this question if you can tell me exactly how many points it was.
I can't tell you that, but I gotta guess.
Exactly?
If you can tell me exactly, you get an extra. It's a bonus point for exactly.
This is a good question too, Spinny.
All right, if there's WNBA and soccer on trivia next time, just like don't invite me. Don't invite me. Football questions only, or I'm out.
I'm gonna say Lisa Leslie with 62 points.
Okay. I'm going to go a similar route. I'm picking another big. I'm trying to think of a total.
No.
Liz? What was her last name? Liz Cambridge and 59 points. 59 points is my guess.
Diana Taurasi, 53.
Shit, I should have said Diana.
All right, we got points to go around all over here. Honestly, Mike got the bonus point with getting the exact number of points correct, 53.
53.
And even though one of you pronounced this person's name wrong, her name is Liz Cambage, but that is the answer.
Cambage. That's what I was like.
I think I can give that to Bus, right? That was close enough.
We'll give it to him.
Liz Cambage, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like an idiot now for not reason. That's
you guys can tell me if you need a hint for this one. But it is a hard. Which country has played in every single World Cup?
It's a hard question. Is this a commonly good World Cup team?
Yeah, I only put it in hard because it's soccer.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, they are commonly good if they make it every year.
Well, yeah, but
I guess
I'm saying that people think of them as a soccer powerhouse country. That's what I'm asking. Okay.
Yep.
I have a guess.
I got one.
This might decide it. All right.
My guess is Germany.
Mine's Brazil.
I'm gonna go with England.
We got points.
Is it England or what?
No, it is Brazil. Congrats,
Oh!
Mike.
I was considering it because I was like, Germany definitely had something around like World War II where like they definitely weren't playing or something.
They weren't allowed.
I'll tell you what, Mike jumped a second because he got the bonus point and that.
Oh, but I can't get any more points.
5 for Mike, 4 for you two.
Okay. All right.
7,
Wow.
5, 4, 4.
Wait, how much does Fetty have?
If one of you two get this and tie me, I'm gonna be so pissed.
How many? You have 7?
I have 7. You two have 4. Mike has 5.
Let's go.
All right.
Last
question.
I don't know if this is hard, but I thought it was super interesting and way off track for what I thought. So, what year did Kansas football last hold an AP top 25 ranking?
Kansas football.
I saw this.
Can we get the
think I
classic
know.
in our lifetime or not hint?
In our lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I have a guess. We were just asking for a year here, so I might as well just throw a year out. So honestly, I have no idea. I will start. I'll go 2001.
2003.
I'm gonna go 2004.
Those are all decent guesses.
God, not
The
good.
answer is 2009.
Damn it!
Oh,
So actually, in 2007, they like got up to as high as like number 2 in the AP poll, and they could have played for a national championship if they wouldn't have fumbled the bag against, I think, Missouri. And then, this is when they had the man genius, and then like they slowly went downhill. But in 2009, they were ranked to start the year in like the 20s, and then bottomed out. And they think they got as high as 17, but they're going to be ranked next week. They're just getting another dub.
Did Buss just really win? Did the worst trivia player in the history of hard-headed sports just win?
Unbelievable.
Number one.
All right.
Number one.
Mini for the winning. Let's get it.
Mini for the winning. All y'all is get the hell out of here. All right. I'm gonna take this minute to just express my displeasure for Justin Jefferson this past week. He got me axed in my guillotine league, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive him for this. Playing the freaking Lions, and the dude scores like 3 points. Like, that's some shit you just literally can't make up. Like, the sport gods must have been looking down on me or something, because there's no reason that Justin Jefferson, the best receiver, or at least top 3 receiver in the league, should score 3 freaking points in half PPR against the bum ass Lions. I'm disappointed, and now I'm out of my league, and it sucks. It really does. I thought I was a pretty stacked team. I had Gabe Davis, Jefferson. Like, I had a bunch of dogs right off the rip. I thought I was set forever. Nope. Gone. I'm chopped. I'm axed. So that's all I wanted to talk about for my mini for the winning.
That was beautiful.
Forbes, I know you were loving that since you're the commissioner of that league.
Oh, I was. I love every week just getting to unassign every player from the roster in the sleeper app, one by one, the order of my choosing.
That would be fun. I almost kind of want to start my own guillotine league just so I can have the pleasure of doing that.
We got 2 just because of it.
Nobody's joining Buss's guillotine league, though.
Also, you guys.
Wow, Spinny, that's rude.
Yeah.
All right, boys. You guys ready to talk NFL now or what?
Ooh, baby.
Let's do it up.
Right now on your screen, you'll see the topics we're about to discuss for this recap. Let's start with the Broncos. They're 2-1, but this has been a team that has looked like absolute dog shit, in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys agree with that. What the hell's wrong with the Broncos? Like, what do you guys think it is?
Oh, I think the problem's obvious. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett doesn't look ready to be a head coach in the NFL. I'm still thinking that this team should be 3-0 if they just let Russ cook in week 1. The offense looks ugly, though, otherwise. The defense is bailing them out. I thought Jerry Jeudy would be a lot better so far. They got running backs out targeting him, so I don't know. Just very, very strange.
With a team that has so many weapons, the offense just seems like super clunky right now. I don't know what's wrong with it, but you thought Nathaniel Hackett would be able to, him and Russ would be able to get something going with all these weapons, and it does not look good right now.
No, it looks terrible. I mean, Russ only had like 100 and some yards and didn't even throw a passing touchdown last week. I mean, this is a dude that in most fantasy leagues is already being dropped. Like, he's been that pathetic so far. No, I agree with you guys though. Nathaniel Hackett, he's the issue right now. But I mean, he's got a solid record through 3 weeks, 2-1. So if he can, at least keep winning some games, he'll probably still have a job. But this is a guy that might be on the hot seat if they keep underperforming.
Did we see the Let Russ cook with like cereal with like glizzies in it with like water. That's like my favorite meme of the week, honestly.
Oh, that was hilarious. Are we done ripping on the Broncos or what? Yeah, I think we are. I guess. Figure your shit out, Broncos. Moving on. Next topic we want to discuss, the Bills, Dolphins. Spinny, give us your thoughts. I know you enjoyed this game.
Yeah, this was my TV3 game this weekend. It was really impressive how good Buffalo could look in a loss. Josh Allen looked amazing. They outgained Miami over twice as many yards as Miami had. So that was obviously impressive, but they just couldn't get her done at the end. And, Josh Allen had 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 94, and Tua was 13 for 18 with 186 yards. And the Bills lost. They turned it over too much, made some fatal mistakes here at the end on special teams, and it was a tough one for them. I was really surprised how good they could look in a loss and how bad Miami could look in a win. And it almost confirmed that I wasn't completely on the big L about Tua not being that good, even after 400 and whatever yards. So that's what I thought about it.
How the hell did he pass concussion protocol?
He didn't. No way he did. The NFL's investigating it. It came out.
I know they're investigating it, but what's his face? Coach, drawing a blank. Help me, Spinny.
Mike Daniels.
Mike Daniels said they said they tested him twice.
Mike McDaniel.
Twice?
They tested him twice. Yeah. He said they're going to fully cooperate with any investigation. He's like, no, we did it legitimately.
I think it was possible that he passed the concussion protocol, whatever it is, but it was obvious that he probably needed to sit then more. And the concussion protocol probably isn't up to exactly what it should be if he passed it.
He stood up and just instantly fell over again. Like, there's no way he's not concussed. I just refuse to believe that. And now, all signs point to him playing this week. So, I just don't get it.
I got to give props to the Miami defense in this game. I think Spinny's slander of the Dolphins is a little heavy for getting a dub. I'll say that because, it felt like Buffalo had the ball the entire game. Like, literally.
Yeah, 90 plays. 90 plays.
40 minutes, over 40 minutes time of possession. Over 40 minutes time of possession. Just unbelievable. And the story of the game came down to, what did you do in the red zone? The Bills were 2 for 4. Dolphins were 3 of 3. And, that defense is amazing. What was Diggs' stat line? He did all right still. 7 for 74, but kept him out of the end zone, so that was solid. But hats off to the Miami defense. That's really all I got to say about this one. It was ugly for how much the Bills dominated the team on offense. Felt like
maybe
they had 90 plays.
Yeah.
But you saw what Miami's defense last year is what carried them, and we thought it was a lot about Flores, which maybe it was in part, but the talent was still there on the defensive end. So I wasn't terribly surprised by that, but you're right. I did not give Miami's defense enough credit. All right.
Moving on. Our next topic will still be in the AFC here. Jaguars. Oh my God, they shit on the Chargers. Was not expecting that. They are now 2-1. Is this a team that can make the playoffs? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Oh, I think for sure in that division. There's 4 teams right now that.
Go ahead.
Say that again.
Go ahead, Connor.
There's 4 teams in there that are, for the better part of it, just not very good at all. So, I wouldn't be surprised. Houston, I would be a little surprised, but Indy and Jacksonville and Tennessee, I could see any of those coming out of there. And right now, the Jags probably look the best. We all know how Derrick Henry looks late in the season, though. He might be turning it up.
True.
He's already starting to turn it up.
this week he went off.
There was some slander about the Derrick Henry going into this week, and he kind of put that to bed right away.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a freak.
I think that the story here, like, yeah, in their ceiling, they can win the division. I don't know if I could give them a playoff win in any capacity, but they could win the division, I think. But the offensive line's improving, and I think that's allowing Trevor Lawrence to, start to figure things out. And remember when we were shaking our heads at that Christian Kirk contract earlier in the year? He's kind of nice. He's kind of nice right now.
That same contract that reset the market, that kind of looks like a deal now for him.
Yeah, right? It's crazy. I was like, absolutely not. Christian Kirk, you mean like the third best wide receiver on the team in Arizona?
Yeah.
It's almost like they should have just paid him instead of signing Marquise, but who knows?
Possibly, yeah,
Marquise looks fine. He looks pretty solid there.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's getting a hell of targets there. What were you about to say, Spinny?
I'm just saying that Matt Ryan looks like a fossil, and Ryan Tannehill's never been that good. So if Derrick Henry is even 15 to 20% less effective, Tennessee could be in trouble. And their defense scares me a lot less this year than it has in past years. So I just think basically the same theme we've all had, that the division is so bad, you can't count the Jags out. Doug Peterson's a Super Bowl winning head coach and good with quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence looks good, and we've basically seen how unbelievably bad of an NFL coach Urban Meyer is.
Yes, I was just going to say
from the Jags season so far.
I was just going to say that.
Jags currently 2-1 on FanDuel right now to win the division. Colts plus 115. Titans are plus 290.
Wow.
Ooh, I kind of like that Titans plus 290, though, if I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, betting wise, that's a nice one. But so are we all in the same boat that only the division winner is making the playoffs out of this division?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. Just making sure. Well, speaking of potential playoff teams here, 2-1 NFC powerhouses. Which of these teams? Obviously, it'd be the Rams, the Bucks, and the Packers. Those were the three highest rated teams coming into the season. All 2-1. All have been pretty sketchy so far. Which one are you guys the least confident in to make a good run?
I'll start. Least confident in the Packers. The Packers have had the least playoff success in the last 2 years. Aaron Rodgers has consistently not been willing to try to thread the needle in the playoffs and play it safe, even when he had Devontae Adams. And I just think that the way he plays quarterback and the dealings he has with his receivers is going to have to change a lot for me to have any belief that they're going to beat a good team in the playoffs. So just purely based on that, least confident in the Packers going forward in the season, even though they might end up with a better record than the Rams or the Bucks. I still just have the least confidence in them for playoff success.
Yeah, that team's only going to go as far as the defense takes them this year, which is very weird to say about an Aaron Rodgers football team. So
very weird.
That's all I got to add. I just echoes to what Spinny said. That defense looks amazing, though. But I don't know. The offense you'd think would figure it out, but I don't have any confidence in those wide receivers. Even, Lazard gave them a little bit of a threat, but I don't know. They need to have more than one option there.
I agree. What do you think, Forbrook?
I think the team going into the season that I was going to be the most worried about was the Packers, and for some reason I'm not quite too worried, even though they do have like the toughest division on paper right now and record wise. I kind of feel confident right now in those Rams and Bucks teams. Just kind of get it done and figure it out. Green Bay too. So I'm really not worried in any of them right now. And that's kind of the question I wanted to pose it to you guys to see what you thought. But I think the right answer is not to be concerned about any of them. I don't think anybody else in the NFC besides Philly really is posing any threat.
I agree. I'm in the same boat as Forbrook. To play devil's advocate, though, you could get some concern for the Rams. I feel like their offense hasn't been looking the greatest. I don't think Allen Robinson is going to be good enough to be a 2. If you shut down Kupp, who else is going to be able to step up? And the elbow issue is a real thing for Matt Stafford. He has looked terrible this year. So I'm kind of concerned as how far he'll be able to bring them. But yeah, I still think they'll all be able to figure it out, and I still think all three teams are going to make the playoffs. The other side of things, 1 and 2 teams. Which 1 and 2 team are you most confident in to make the playoffs? I'll just start it off right away. At least in the NFC, I'm going to say the 49ers. I do still truly think that their offense will be better with, or at least more consistent with Jimmy Garoppolo in, and we know the dude can win, right? He's been a winner his entire time in San Francisco. So you combine that with Kyle Shanahan, an absolutely amazing coach. I would have to say that I have the most confidence in the 49ers to make the playoffs, even though they've started 1 and 2. In the AFC, I think I'm going to say the Chargers. They're 1 and 2, but they've had to play. They got destroyed by the Jags, sure. But Herbert, he obviously wasn't even close to 100%. Keenan Allen hasn't played. They lost to the Chiefs in one of those games. So I still have faith in the Chargers making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think those are the right answers for both of the conferences. I would say I'm a little bit more confident in the 49ers just because I am comfortable with Jimmy G and Shanahan just kind of figuring out, and like that offense, I mean, they got weapons all around and they just seem to win games even if it is a little ugly sometimes.
Yeah, that's just what that style of football, it is, right? And having that coach quarterback continuity is nice to have. Defense looks solid as ever. How much longer are they going to be able to keep D'Amico Ryans around as DC? I don't know, but he's been making magic happen, I think, for the most part. So maybe we go back to that Broncos point. Maybe it is the defense. That offense doesn't look great, but San Francisco forces you to do things that you don't want to do on offense sometimes. So on the Chargers side, I agree again. It's just they're really banged up right now too, which it just doesn't. Losing Rashawn Slater for the year is going to be
that's true.
Because
that is true.
If you remember Justin Herbert's rookie year, that was his issue, and I think we may revert back to that, but need to get Eckler cooking a little bit more too. I think just take some of that pressure off of Herbert with a little bit of a run game, a little presence there. But we'll see if Joey Bosa stays healthy as well too. He's week to week now, but with him and Mac, if those are both healthy, that defense should be able to keep them in games.
All right, y'all forgot somebody real important, and that's a team that, despite the Chargers have injuries that could last all season, could affect their win, how much they can win, stuff like that. This team just has to figure out some offensive line play, and they'll be fine. And that's the Bengals.
The Bengals?
I think the Bengals.
That was the other team.
Their next 2 weeks are Dolphins at home and at the Ravens, right? So those are 2 tough games. If they can win one of those games, that puts them at 2 and 3. And then their next set of 6 games is Saints, Falcons, Browns, Panthers, Steelers, Titans. So if you can come out 2 and 3 out of that, you can at least go 5 and 1 in that 6-game stretch. You're at 7 and 4, and then you've got a real shot to do some stuff. So I think the Bengals could be a team that could go on a little roll here and come out from that 1 and 2 hole.
Hosting the Bengals or hosting the Dolphins this Thursday, right? That's the Thursday game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say
I like that.
Offensive line isn't one of those things you just fix though mid-season. I remember like those 2016, 2017 Vikings teams. 2016, more importantly, they started 5-0 and they just got absolutely destroyed.
Don't remind me.
See, but the Bengals paid a lot for these offensive linemen, and there has been some history of them being good, the guys that they've signed. So I think those type of guys can figure it out. So I think there's a chance as they get more snaps as the season goes on, not getting too many in preseason or in the early training camp, that they can figure it out better than it is.
That's fair. I'm a skeptic though, because they could easily be 1 and 3 when we wake up Friday morning, and then you're really in trouble. Then you gotta win 5 or 6.
Well,
agreed.
Yeah, they could be 1 and 4 too. I mean, they could lose the Dolphins and the Ravens here. So yeah, I agree with Spinny. They need to win one of those games and then they get to that easy part where they could hopefully turn their season around. That was a team I was really high on coming in, but they've definitely underperformed. And history kind of backs with Mike, because history shows that the team that loses the Super Bowl is usually not very good the next season and usually misses the playoffs. So I don't have this statistic written down, but that's history. That's what historically happens. So that was the second team I was going to say for the AFC though, Spinny. So I'm not opposed necessarily to that pick. Well, moving on to our second, basically our last topic where we talk about our Vikings. Which 3-0 team, Dolphins or Eagles, do you guys think it's better? I feel like it's an easy answer, and I want to say the Eagles, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
It is interesting that both teams do have the two QBs that kind of flip-flop for each other in college.
Yeah, that's funny.
I personally loved Tua coming into the when he was coming into the NFL. I was a little skeptical on Jalen Hurts, and I've kind of flip-flopped. I've way more confidence in Jalen Hurts just to make plays and make like high-level plays. So for that reason, I think I like Philly just a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to give the edge to Miami just because I think the talent overall that they have on their defense, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle together is just a lethal combo. I don't think Philly has anything similar. Like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I just think that's like the great value version of Waddle and Hill. That's the way I'll leave it. And I love Mike McDaniel as a coach. Maybe the Eagles are a little bit too run heavy when they play some tougher competition, but we'll see. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah, right. I usually try to think about this about coaching quarterback, but I feel like in this situation, I got to go in the opposite of that thinking. And I think Miami's got a slight edge too. I think their defense is just slightly better. And I think their offensive weapons are enough better to make up for how much worse Tua is than Jalen Hurts. That's how I math it out in my head. I'm going to go Miami slightly. But I don't think either of them are probably going to end the season in the top 5 for the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I'm just with Forbes. I think the Jalen Hurts is better than Tua, so I'm gonna pick the better quarterback in that situation. And these last 2 weeks, Jalen Hurts barely even played in the second half, and he still is putting up monster numbers because they're just destroying them, so they just take him out. So I don't even think he's played a snap in the fourth quarter the last 2 weeks. Could be wrong on that, but he's a stud. I love Jalen Hurts. I love them both. I like both teams, but I'm going to give the edge to the Eagles. Moving on to the Vikings. This was a very roller coaster of emotions game for me. I don't know about you guys, but wow, down 24-14 entering the fourth quarter. I honestly had no confidence. I was not feeling good about this game. I thought we lost. I thought for sure we were going to lose this game. And then we, I guess, figured it out at the end of the fourth quarter and snuck away with a win. I mean, a win's a win, right? It's kind of how you have to look at it. But there's definitely some issues. And so I'm kind of curious as what you guys think our biggest issue is so far. What is it?
It's pretty, for me, it's simple. It's the defense. And I caught myself in the middle of the game.
Specifically about the defense, do you think should be improved?
I'm not a fan of the scheme. Fortunately, okay. We talk so much about the shell defense. I caught myself in the middle of this game thinking, I don't think Donatello's going to make it through the season. Like, this is watching the 2-minute defense that gave up so many points last year for 60 minutes. And I understand the scheme is to let your pass rushers make plays. And that's really what we need to have. The pass rushing has been non-existent since that Green Bay game. And I think that's why we're seeing the flaws in the secondary so much more. And I think we just got to get Za'Darius and Daniil going a little bit more for that. And it's got to be every down. Mix it up, mix up the look. Get those guys in the backfield. Get them on top of the quarterback, which that can be said for any team in the NFL. So.
And my big thing is, can we scheme against the team that we're playing? I get playing shell coverage against Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes and guys that you would rather have them have to beat you by checking it down all day. That's what you want to make them do. But against Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff, not only is our run defense atrocious, but we're giving them run and short pass. Wow. Two teams that literally want to do that to you all day. That's what they want to do. And we're just, here you go. Have this for you. So I question that a little bit too, just not changing your scheme for your opponent.
Oh, yeah. Those crossing routes were there all day. All day. It was crazy.
Wide open.
It was so annoying. What about you, Forbes? What are your thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings?
To be fair, I thought we snuck one out, and
Facts.
it felt like a game we shouldn't have won, but then you look back and we missed 2 field goals, 2 horrible misses, by the way. I hope we don't have kicking issues again. But you need to win those. You need to win some of those games, I guess. Looking ahead, we got the Saints and the Bears coming up, 2 very winnable games. I have faith in Kirk in London. I think he'll be.
Of course.
I mean, it'll be 8:30. No one's gonna be watching. He'll probably be amazing.
Balling. Yeah.
So
everyone in England's gonna be Kirk.
I'm not.
What if they start doing this skull chant in England?
They might. They love that in Iceland, I think. No, I'm not completely sold on this team, but I think they'll be frisky at least.
Frisky. I love the way you put that. Oh man.
No,
Can
but
Jefferson also do something, please? Like, sweet. I get you're being double teamed most plays, but even when he's in single coverage, he's not getting open. Like, why is Jeff Okudah shutting you down? I don't get that. Why is Darius Slay, who's definitely not as good as he used to be, why is he shutting you down? Like Jefferson, I don't know. I'm very frustrated with Jefferson right now. Obviously, I know he's going to be fine and turn it around, but that's another thing that's irritating me.
Do we know the latest on Dalvin Cook?
He said he was going to play, but I mean, players always say that. They always want to play. So, I mean, dislocated his shoulder, so I don't know. I feel like the recovery on that isn't terribly long. Could be wrong.
Yeah, it seems with our running back depth, he should probably just sit out and
at least one game, right?
I'd rather them be safe with him.
No, I completely agree. Well, boys, that's all we got for the NFL and for football for this week. We appreciate you guys coming on. You guys are regulars on our show, and we love having you on. So I'm sure we'll have you on pretty soon again, I imagine.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Always happy to be here.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Hug your friends and family.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
See you, fellas.
Yeah.
Did we have Q&A and I just did that way too early?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just let you do it. I just let it happen because I thought it was funny. Just holding it. Spitty, when have we ever ended the episode right after just thanking our guests? When have we ever done that?
Yeah, I'm tripping.
All right, Q&A. This was post from Dante, our friend Dante. He said, this is real life. We're not talking fancy here. Real life. Would you rather have Dalvin Cook or ... I'm about to give you 10 options here, Spinny. We're just going to wrap it through each one, okay?
Okay.
Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry on the Vikings? Who would you rather have?
Derrick Henry.
Right now, going forward. I'm giving slight edge Derrick Henry. Right now, for like going forward and
slight edge Derrick Henry then.
Slight edge Derrick Henry. I agree. CMC.
Yeah, CMC.
I'm going. This one scares me with this take, but I'm going to go slight edge Cook. I think he's a little healthier.
Okay.
I want more games
I
played at
think
least.
I agree with that. I couldn't
I'm-
decide if I was going to go Cook because he's a little healthier or McCaffrey
Or
because he's a
CMC
little
'cause
more
he's-
productive when he's healthy.
When he is healthy.
I couldn't
Exactly.
decide, yeah.
Yeah.
You get both sides of the coin.
Najee Harris.
Yes, Najee Harris. Just he's 22, and I
I'm
know
going-
I get.
I'm going
6
Najee.
years.
Younger. Yep.
Yeah.
Younger and not maybe as quite as good right now, but it's close already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Saquon. I'm gonna give slight edge to Saquon. I'm gonna throw
Gosh, I think I am too.
more useful. I mean, what's 2 years younger than Cook? I think 25 to 27, I
and
believe.
he just looks so good coming off that injury. I just was mind blown by how good he looks and how explosive he looks.
Right. He looks like he did rookie year. Like he looks like he's back. So I don't know. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Saquon there. Jonathan Taylor. This one I feel is obvious. I'm going Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor, easy.
Yeah. Brees Hall.
Dalvin Cook. I don't know how good Brees Hall is going to be yet. It's too much of a risk.
I agree. I'm going to stick with Cook. We know what we got there. He was the highest drafted running back, Brees Hall, but again, you never know. He's on the Jets. Austin Eckler.
I don't like Austin Eckler's play style. I'm biased
Yeah.
against him, so I'm going to take Dalvin Cook.
I don't think he could be a true workhorse back, like 20 carries-ish that we use Dalvin Cook as. So
yeah, but
that's
also it's like, is a Madison-Eckler combo better? Because you just have the best of both worlds on that, and
That's
that's
true.
how you run it. Is that better for your offense? I don't know.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Next guy, Javonte Williams. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
This is a young guy I have seen enough from. I'm going to go Javonte.
Yeah, Javonte. It's close.
It's close. It is close. But next one, Joe Mixon.
Cook. Mixon pisses me off too much with his inconsistency. Even though his stats have been up there for seasons, I just feel like game in and game out, you never know quite what you're getting.
Facts, I agree. And I feel like Cook is like he's a set and forget
Cook's
100 total yards.
Yeah.
I think Cook's 100 total yard guarantee every game pretty much, as long as he's healthy, you know.
Yeah, he's a tier above Mixon.
And the last one here, which I think is, again, the same conversation we just had with Mixon, would be Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. I'd rather have A.J. Dillon right now than Aaron Jones. If you gave me A.J. Dillon versus Dalvin Cook, it'd be a closer conversation.
Okay, let's just say that. You still take Cook, though? Instead of A.J. Dillon?
Yeah.
That one I do.
No, I don't think so. I think I might take Dillon. Man, that's close.
Really?
They're even. They're even.
Really?
Because
I
Dillon
think I've
can
seen
be
this take
receiving and passing.
He
I
hasn't
don't
really
know.
showed much for receiving, though, until
Yeah,
this.
because
this,
they have Aaron
preseason.
Jones. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think the Aaron Jones is for sure Dalvin Cook just because he's not a workhorse back. He's not your 20 carry back, but Dillon could be. Dillon could be that kind of guy. So yeah, that was our Q&A for this week. Shout out Dante. That was a good question. And those were our answers. Looks like we're rocking with our man Dalvin Cook for at least half those dudes. So he's still in our eyes a top 5 running back, top 5 asset to have in the backfield. So we appreciate y'all for sticking with us again. This one, I think we did a better job this time at trying to keep things shorter and sweet for you guys, so we didn't, talk forever about the dumbest things. But sometimes we like to just do that.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. It's our pod. We get to talk about dumbass things if we want. But yeah, as you already know, you can hug your friends and family, and I'm not posting again because I'm a freaking
What,
idiot.
dude? You have to pose again.
No, I don't. You get one post per episode. We love you all, and have a good night.
Love y'all. We'll see you later this week.